Hi everybody, it's Sam at Mixed Up Craft. Thanks for watching my tutorial today. This is number 2 of my greeting card fortnight. So as I mentioned in the first video, if you're just tuning in, for the next 2 weeks, every other day I will be showing you a greeting card, but with some form of a mechanism in it. So it won't just be a standard open and close card. So this one today is the Waterfall card. Again, lots of lovely tutorials with this one online, but again, I've tried to, every card I'm doing, I'm trying to show you the easiest and quickest way, because some of the videos I've watched are really mind-boggling and I've just been looking at them thinking, oh my god, there's no way, that's just really too confusing. So this is my take on it and I hope you like it. So open it up and then I'll do it slowly first. Like so, and then the last one stays down for you to write a message on. Push it back in again and then a bit faster. And it's a really nice strong mechanism, and it was a little labour of love and I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. So don't be scared, it is so easy to do. Okay, and I have done all of this stamping and decoration with one of my favourite all-time stamp sets, and that's a Stamping Up Jar of Love. However, any floral stamping would look beautiful on this. I've also got the Folk Floral stamp set, which I've been using a lot, and I used it on my triangle gift box by Do Crafts, and that's another really nice floral stamp set. So if you are looking for some really nice floral ones, the Stampin' Up one I'd say a bit more on the pricier side, and then the Do Crafts one was very inexpensive for what you get. Can't quite remember the price, but I'll put the links and everything to all of those things. So there you have it. I've decorated the front, I've kept the same colours throughout. Obviously I've put some little card frames around the side there, and I put a piece of card on the back, and that was purely because the card that I was using was a bit thin and it needed to be a bit stronger, so that's why I've done that. But the card I'm using for this next one is a bit stronger. So I've also done an envelope to match as well. Again, if you're ever scared to use pattern, just a little rule of thumb is anything striped will go with florals, anything polka dot will go with florals. So I've used the green to bring out the green in the flowers there, and I just thought that was a nice little contrast. So this one is on the punch board, envelope punch board. This size was the 8.5. Where am I looking? 8.5, yeah, because it's a 4. The closest this card comes in, so it's 6 by, it's just under 4.5. So the envelope to match that was the 8.5 by 8.5 paper, and score line 3 3/4. So if you've got the punch board, that's what you need. If not, as I've said already, highly recommend it. It's very, very good. Okay, so let's crack on and make this one. So you are going to need, just pop down my book there, so I've got all my measurements to call out. Okay. So let me just, I've already stuck lots of bits down, again, just to keep the video as short as possible. So grab a pen and paper, and I'm just going to talk you through, grab my scoreboard, all of the measurements you will need. So lots of pieces are optional, so you may not want to have the bits, and I'll tell you those as we go along. So first of all is your main outer card, so the main piece that holds it all together. And this measures 11, keep losing my little book there we go, 11 by 4 1/4. Okay, I'll do the score lines in a minute. I'll just talk you through all of the paper. If you want to do this, that was one thing I didn't do on this one, and I thought I would like to, and that's putting another piece of card in here to decorate as well. So that's what I've already done on this one. So if you want to have these 2 pieces of card here, these measure at, make sure I get the right measurement, yeah, it was 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Okay, so that's for the front and the back. Then for, these are your actual waterfall pieces, so there's 6 pieces in total. I've done a variety of colours there, and these measure, so 6 pieces of the coloured card are 4 by 4, and then 6 pieces of the white ones are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, so that's those there. And then what I've done is I've corner punched just one edge, so the edge that's going to be on show, because this is the side that's going to be stuck down. Okay, then you need, this is the actual mechanism piece of card. So this piece here, this measures at 9.5 by 3 7/8 of an inch. Okay, and then you need this piece of white card here, which is 8 by 1 inch. And then this is to reinforce the back of the mechanism, and I found this to be quite an important piece. And not a lot of videos, actually I don't think I saw any videos with this, but I found it gave you a much stronger kind of movement. So this piece is 3 5/8 of an inch by 4.5. Okay, so grab all those pieces. Oh, and a little bit of ribbon for your tab. Can't pick that bit up. And this is 2 inches, and then we're folding it in half. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the beginning again. So this main piece of card. So this is the 11 inch, and you just want to score it 5.5 down through the middle and fold it in half. Okay, once you fold it in half, then you can add these 2 pieces here and decorate and do what you want to do. If you're doing like I'm doing, this one I'm just going to keep blank until I'm ready to use it for whatever I want to. So for the purposes of the video, this is all going to stay blank. But like I said, this one here is the inspiration with terms of decoration. If when you stick it all down, just a quick tip as well, and then you do decide you want to stamp it, always grab some old, scrap piece of copy paper, and if you line it up there on any of the edges, then you'll be able to stamp away and go over the edges and not worry about it going onto this piece of card here. So it's just another little tip. So don't ever be scared to kind of prep all your cards, because that's obviously what I'm doing here. I'm prepping it for when I might need it later on. I've just got a little mark there on that card. There we go. Okay, so that's that piece. Then we will go to just the mechanism is the other one with the scoring. So remember, which way? It's because I've cut it. Aha, so I cut this down a bit, so now my score lines are slightly different. Okay, that's fine. I'll do it from this way. So along the 9.5 inch side, you need to score at 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 3/4, 4 inches, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and 4 3/4. Okay, once you've done that, just burnish every single one of those 1/4 inch score lines, and this is the mechanism that the card is all going to stick on, like so. So as you pretend it's there, as you pull that bottom piece, it will roll along like so, flicking over all of those cards as we go. So that's that piece. This piece here we will fold by hand when we get to it. So that is all of your scoring done. So pop the scoreboard away. And now is the fun piece of actually assembling it all together. So we'll leave the shell for the minute. And we will, let's think, what should I do first? Yeah, let's stick these all on now. Right, okay, so lie your card out, and you want all the score lines in this smallest square on your right hand side. Okay, so this big rectangle will be on your left hand side. Now grab all your card, and depending on what ones you have and what sequence you might want them in, because basically what's going to happen is, so the bottom one is this first one we lay down, and what you're doing is you're not lining it up with the first score line, you're lining it up with the second score line. So basically it's going to be sticking in that first 1 inch, 1/4 inch tab, let's say, that little like kind of strip. That's where that first one is going to sit. So I'm just going to lie these up first to show you. So that one will be there. Then I've got my pink, which will then sit in that next one. And as you're doing this, you'll make sure they're all lined up on the top and the bottom as well. And then the next one will stick, and then the next one, and the next one, and I basically want the pink one on the top, and the pink one, the last one, will line up to that last score line, leaving that plain rectangle. So that's when you know you've done them all on the right one. So your 6th one will be the last one to line up against that last score line. Okay, so now we need to start sticking them. So the easiest thing to do is to apply glue over all of those score lines. So again, this is really, really sticky. So literally, like so. it doesn't matter if you go over this side, you don't really want to, but you don't want to go over this side because it's going to be the one that rolls underneath, so if it's got anything sticky on it, it might stop it. Okay, so starting from the bottom, just want to make sure you've got even coverage. As long as it's covering here, you don't want to line it up with that, you just want it to sit so you've got a little bit kind of overhanging. So that's the first score line, like so, and then the next score line, and as you're putting that one down, that's when you want to make sure it's lined up so you've got none of the one below showing through, like so. And then again with yellow. And just continue that with all of them. Okay, so that is the last one, and you just basically just want to give that some time to all set in place, because the last thing you want is it all coming undone. So make sure that that is obviously a good glue. Red tape would probably work because it's super strong. I'm just confident with this stuff now. Again, I did mention in a video before, it's in Walmart, but it's in Chinese. I don't know if it would be in any of the American Walmart stores. But if you can see something that's similar in terms of the pattern and the colours and stuff, and this mapped brand, then get it, because for a Pritt stick it's brilliant. It's so strong, and it doesn't take long to dry. So it's I think it's about 70 pence, so $1. So again, really good buy. So I think just turn over so you can see on the back there that I've got a nice even kind of at each end there, kind of showing through. Okay, now once that's really dry, I will go through and fold them all individually, but we'll do that in a minute. So the next piece we need to do now is let's attach, this is the piece to reinforce the back, which is what I was saying about, so it makes the whole so this piece here that's going to be pulling in and out, it makes that really strong. So if we turn it over with it folded down, and we're going to stick it on the back, but what you want to do before you stick it down, because that's also where you're going to then add your piece of ribbon. So it's folded over, that's going to stick on top, and then the ribbon needs to go this end. Not the end, obviously, with the corner. This is the end that you're pulling, so the piece that's free, okay? So you basically want to pop that so it's inside there and then under the card, with the card underneath, sorry. Okay, so I have put some red tape on one half of this ribbon, so I can just go and fold that in half. Oh, it's so sticky. There we go. Okay, and then I've put another piece of red tape right on the end there, like so. Okay, and then that is, once I put that down, it just needs to be enough static on it there to show through. So just eyeball it in the middle, and then it's got enough there sticking out over the edge to pinch, and then that will stick over the top, so it will also give that a nice finish even though you don't see it, but it will also reinforce that bottom. So now you just want to grab, I'm just going to use some of my tear tape and just stick that piece down. If your card is really strong, because that is strong card, that's 200 and something, it's a strong card. That's one thing I need to do, is make sure I've got the exact kind of weight for you. I mean, nobody's ever asked me what weight card I use, but I guess it's just handy to know. But if it is really good quality, then you may not need this piece. So it's entirely up to you. And then just eyeball that up so you get a nice even border. Again, you don't see it, but you want it all to be nice and neat, in case someone does investigate and dissect your makes. Okay, so that is that all done. Got a bit of, again, I'll rub that off in a minute. Okay, so you've got a nice little tab there to be able to pull it in and out, and basically I can't really do it without the other piece in it, but as we pull it, the top bit will all roll over. So what we can do now, because I'm confident that mine is dry, is get each one and fold it down. So lift that, and as the other one comes, just kind of, and just give it a bit more of a crease. Okay, and that one as well, and that last one like so. Okay, now grab this piece here, and what we're going to do with this piece is fold it all back over so it's completely in half. Okay, and what you want to do is this piece is going to sit, you can see there, just inside, and it's going to go over both like so. Okay, so you can see there how far, so it's about, I'll tell you the actual how far in, I put it in a minute, but that is what this piece is for. So what you want to do is just pop it in like so, so you've roughly got the same amount on each side, and then just fold it round freehand. You don't need to score this with the scoreboard, and then just pinch it on the side so that you get that effect. Okay, so then turn it on its back and fold this piece over, and where you've got the score lines where you've kind of pinched them, turn that over so it's facing up, and you want to put glue all into that middle bit there. I'm just going to do it off here a bit so I don't get it on the surface where I'm working. Okay, and again, so we're just going to stick that in, and I'll measure that so you know how far down I've done it. Again, I'm just eyeballing it, so, but it is 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch down on that purple piece of card is where you want that to stick. Okay, just get rid of all that glue. Okay, then what you want to do is this last piece I stuck down on top of that, so I'll show you here, because what I found is that when you were pulling it, if you didn't stick that one down, it would lift up as well, and it just left that, and I didn't think it looked very nice, so I've stuck that one down on top of it, and I just think it's a nicer finish, and that's where I'm going to do my little message to the person I'm giving this to. Okay, so all you want to do now is put, again, no, do it that way, it's fine, I just don't want to get glue on the other side, so just cover this side in glue. Okay, and then just bring that last one down and just fold it down on top of that one, and just put a bit of pressure on it until it's all, you're happy it's all stuck down, like so. Okay, so that's what you will have now. Fold that piece over, and then what you want to do, okay, so that's all in place. Doesn't matter if it doesn't, it will just kind of meet, but that's fine, because what we're going to do next is put glue on here and then stick it into the card. Okay, so grab your main piece. So what you want to do now, okay, is pop some glue just on the tabs. Do not get any glue on this, okay, just on the tab. So if you want to use tear tape, then that's fine. Red tape, anything like that, as long as it's strong, because there will be some tension on this, obviously, when it gets pulled open and closed. Okay, and then what you want to do is line up this to your score line and make sure you've got an even border on the top and the bottom, and then that will all fall down into place. Stick it all down. I'm just going to give mine a few seconds to actually stick properly. So I'm pretty happy that that's all stuck down, so now just open it up, grab your little tab and just slowly pull it. That last one's stuck down, and then because you've reinforced the bottom of that, you can just push that back in. And there you have it. I hope so, that I've made that really easy for you to all understand. So, Waterfall card. Hope you enjoyed this one. I love them. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my ideas and designs, and tune in for the next instalment of my greeting card. series. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.